Okay, we're looking at Victor Hovland today. Obviously, one of the world's absolute top players. Fantastic character and really what an amazing talent and will to win in this player. So what I'm looking at is the club head, and what I'm just going to make a point about here is what the club is doing from waist high into the ball. Now, the head of the club is just passing through where his right hand is there. And, the normal thing is to look for, with players, to see if they're neutral, is to see whether the line from the inside of that armpit and the shaft is parallel to target line. And it pretty much is. With an iron at hip high, or just below hip high, lined up with the hands, then you'd want that line parallel if you expect the path of the club head to be straight through the ball. So from there he's going to have a really good path into the ball, and the club face is reasonably lined up with the angle of his lower spine. So if his lower back is on that kind of angle, then the leading edge of the club is very close to that. So those two checkpoints really help him to get in a position in the lower downswing where he's going to deliver the club with a club head square without having to go open to closed too much in the impact area, and also travelling in a straight line. So it's matching up the face path relationship, and he gives himself a really good chance to do that. Okay, so to get rid of some of these lines. So in that sense, Victor is very, very orthodox. The shaft and the head of the club are being delivered from waist high into the ball in a way you'd expect to get good ball flight characteristics from impact. And you can see at impact from the right hand view that the shaft of the club is leaning forward slightly to deliver an appropriate amount of loft to send the ball off with the right launch angle and the right amount of spin to be able to control it and get his distances controllable. So far, it's all pretty orthodox. Where it's not orthodox is in areas like left elbow being bent. The fact also that his head at impact, the left side of his head, that's not quite in the right place, left side of his head is quite a long way behind the ball. And this is Colin Morikawa was a bit like this as well, but Morikawa bows his left wrist at impact in order to get the shaft lean, but Hovland doesn't do that. He bends that left elbow with his left wrist remaining quite flat, and he has got quite a neutral grip. A lot of people who bow the wrist at the top of their swing. If it goes to the left hand picture, a lot of players who bow the left wrist at the top of the swing, quite often have a weakish left-hand grip at setup. But Hovland doesn't. He has quite a neutral grip. So it's an interesting set of matchups that he does. But the main thing that really comes across is how powerful he is. Look at his muscles around his shoulders and his legs, really, really strong. And when he takes it back, he's got the club face slightly closed, and also he has the shaft plane on the backswing, quite steep, so on the steep side. So I'm not saying that's a problem. I think it's happening as a function of trying to keep the club face quite hooded, because he is trying to minimise the amount of hand action and release that he has in order to dominate his swing with body rotation. Obviously very, very strong in the body, plenty of width there at the top, minimal hand action, and then really strong rotation in his body, which generates his speed, minimal hand action and club face rotation in the impact area, which helps him hit it straight with all that power. And he's anchoring his feet and he's anchoring his head when he's making that rotational movement and driving the club into the ball. And like we said, the left elbow bends in order to help him get that shaft lean, because he's not somebody who prefers to bow the wrist to get in that position. See the left-hand picture, he drives and drills the ball away and comes out of the shot quite a long way to the left with the head of the club. But at impact, he's actually got a really straight path. So interesting matchup, not particularly orthodox, but it proves in a sense that there's no such thing as a perfect swing, but there is such thing as a functional swing. And there's no doubt that Victor Hovland's swing is completely functional. Thank you.